Hey, I'm Kev. Welcome back to MotoGP 19 as we're heading to the Pramac Generic Australian Motorcycle Grand Prix round the fabulous Fairpardon circuit. Stone is going to join Arnold Canet, Della Porte, Antonelli, Mazia, Vietti in the top 5 of Binder, Albono, Tuber, Mino, and McPhee rounding out the top 10 just ahead of Rodrigo, Arenas, Ralph Fernandez, and Dennis Foggia. Making it through. Don't often say that about the VR46 rider. So here goes Stone for the first of 5 possible qualifying laps in qualifying 1. He's got just over 30 minutes remaining. So if he doesn't like riders coming out the pit, says, oh, you don't want to be touching the inside curb apparently. It's now into the left-hander, which seems to last forever. It's all very close to the edge of the track. Clinging on there, 24 flat, that is not a good first sector. Needs to be low 23s at least, maybe. There's now braking heavily into the right hander, one of the best overtaking spots on the circuit. But really, when you're on a Moto3 bike, any could be an overtaking spot, any of these corners. Especially these slow corners, perhaps the most difficult corners to get right, actually. Because you want to push so hard going into the corners. And it's just so easy to go right. Get out of that groove. Let's now go up the hill, through the left. And then downhill into the right hand, perhaps the second best passing spot. Or third best, shall we say. Second best, that's a corner. Of course, the front stretch is probably the best passing spot. To go through these last couple of corners, which really are 2 individual corners on a Moto3 bike. Less so for Moto2 and MotoGP machine. As we go out of the final corner, onto the front stretch, flat out. So towards the line, it's going to be a 41.7. That is not good. But I understand we need to be in the 40s at least to be challenging. There's a bit all over the place there. Stone. Oh. Trying to brake. For the left-hander. There's just so many lines you can take through that left-hander as well. As there you go. 40.2 from Cornfeld. Just proving the point. And 7/10 down after the first sector. What are you playing at, Stone? Do you actually want to make it through? That's some qualifying fun. Qualifying 2 or not. He's literally got to find maybe a couple of seconds because Cornfeld's not the fastest rider either. That's going to be beaten that time. So it might be 39 you've got to be looking for. Look at 9/10 down. It is. On shoe 39.7. Old Can once again producing in qualifying 1. Now go over the hill. Such a great circuit. It's got everything you want in a circuit. It's got some tight corners, some high-speed sweepers, very long front stretch to be Stream City, a massive amounts of undulation. You've got just grass, beautiful scenery here as well. Probably is my favourite circuit on the calendar. Sorry, Magello. There you go, 40.999. Down in 13th, though, the second to last ride of the grid. At the moment, we've got just under 10 minutes remaining. It's all very wide. Gonna power so early, though. Still 6/10 down. That's just 2 corners and a straight. That is poor. Incredibly poor. It's maybe not aggressive enough. As I have found with recent patch, it really has changed the physics, it feels like. It was majestic. After the patch where they introduced the improved feedback, because now you're 6/10 back. So it's level in sector 2 at least, Stone. Both the last patch, not the 1st of July patch, there was another patch afterwards, I'm pretty sure. It's just ruins things. Like, you don't get as much feedback now. Like, braking is just, I find, impossible. Now, like, it is so much harder just to get the bike stopped. Like, you saw it on the Moto3 machine. I thought it's just a symptom of being a bit of a heavier bike, the Moto3 machine. There's that improved torque and traction going into corners as well, that drive. I thought it was a result of that. Obviously not, I don't think. I think it's... They've just balked it, Milestone. I don't know what they've been doing. I don't know who asked for worse riding experience. Like, they... Once again, they're on the edge of greatness. The Italian company, and they've just stepped away from it. It feels like it's 8/10 back, 39.5 from Onshu. Stage not finding the pace at all. See, I'm just finding I'm much slower now. I'm not sure. Like, the last patch said AI improvements. Did they just make them even quicker? So I thought last time, like... So you asked that. Like, you had the difficulty quite good already. When it was too easy, now I thought it was alright. Now you're just going too far off the deep end, maybe, with difficulty. But there needs to be... maybe some more, like... more slider to play with. It's 1.7, but he's just not finding pace, Stone. Like, we're pushing flat out here as well. They just got nothing. Have we got the gearing wrong? Like, I'm using the Austin gearing, but with a shorter 6th gear, because I felt like it tanked a bit. But it seems like 5th gear's tanking, 6th gear, all the gears are just tanking. Like, it's not revving out. And even then, it's still too short for the front stretch to gearing. Well, you really have to push the bike into the corners, don't you? So there we go, still half a second back. That felt pretty good. I think the gearing's wrong. I think we're going to have to change it for the race. I'll be do this and then... the bike's just not getting into the corners, like... something has changed. I'm not happy about it. And it's 9/10 back. Again, I'm not sure if this is just a symptom of riding on a Moto3 bike, or if they actually have changed things, but that 1st of July patch has pushed it in, I felt, the wrong direction. Like, not just physics styles, like graphic styles as well. Obviously, more glitches it feels like with the graphics, like this false horizon thing. Just looks too weird, unfortunately. Is that the final corner? Towards the line. Mate, just got no punch. We're going to have to change some things and do one final lap, I think. So here we go, we changed the gearing then. So we got the Le Mans gearing, but just slightly longer in the final ratio. Again with a shortened 6th gear. Which again is just hitting the same point here. So that's much better for the first corner. Much better for the second. Now it feels like we've got a bit more punch out the corners, and look at that immediate improvement. So after this lap, I might have to save this setup quickly. So we got it for the race. They're staying pretty cautious. into the corners, but nice and early on the power. 4/10 back. So first sector's alright now, second sector not. Again, it is that tight right hander, which is so easy to mess up. Or maybe just get it down to fourth rather than... It's alright, 6/10 back. This won't be the that for Stone. Actually, I remember the setup. I won't go into the bits. We've got one lap for Stone to make it through. There you go. Mid 140s. It's an improvement, but it's still abysmal pace rise. Like, yeah, I've better luck cycling around this track to make it through the qualifying too, rather than riding this thing. So trying to get on the power early. 3/10 back. Let's go through Casey Stoner corner. Once again, the feedback just gone back to the way it was before. So it's that you feel it a bit more. Stone's just been punted from behind. Good job. Team Honda rider. You're going to get you that ruined, says Stone. You do it to me, I do it back. Not at all childish, okay? It's gone a bit wide. Going down the inside, well, he's practicing his elbows out racing after what happened in Japan last time. He needs to. There's a on the grass. Going across the front stretch. Not through. Onshu, Ramirez, Suzuki, and Agora. Making it through 6. About 40.1 would have done it. Instead, Stone down in 10th. Behind Kornfeld, Fenati, and Lopez. On the 7th row. Even behind his teammate Sasaki. And Booth Amos. Didn't even make the top 20 as well. Just poor show. Poor show. You got Sadak, Garcia, and Rossi. And on the back row, Merasaki, Perez, and Yurchenko. As here we go, looking at the grid then. So lots of mediums everywhere, apart from soft mediums for the Italians, Mino and Vietti. Then looking onto the second page, so soft from Ramirez. He's gambling on to the soft mediums down in 18th. Stone's gone for the mediums. Look at all the soft mediums down in medium soft from Booth Amos and Rossi. And then on the back row, all mediums, medium soft from Yurchenko. What a madman. So here's Stone revving up at the start then. As we wait for the lights to go out for 12 laps here in Fairbairn. And what a rocket start this is. Get out of the way, Onshu. Someone's hunting points already, heading into the first corner. Can even get ahead of his teammate McPhee, who's on the grass, so they go 3 wide in front. Oh, Stone into Suzuki, into McPhee. Up into 8th. That's all he really gets to know McPhee now. Up into 7th. What a start. Ahead of Suzuki, half a second behind Ramirez in the top 6 though. That's McPhee down to 12, back with Arbolino. Stone getting hit from behind. Who's that? Is that Onshu? What the hell is he doing in 7th? Stone getting surrounded again this time. He's got his elbows on. And it is Onshu front. We got Binder behind in 9th. Look at Stone flying though. In this middle sector. There's Onshu tries to get back by. Got Suzuki behind. And now flat out through the last part of the lap. As Lopez battling with Boo Famous over 23rd. Fenati battling with Foguez. Canet down! Well, that's one way to almost end the title race as Mazia leads the Portia, who's just seen his rival go. Or maybe he hasn't. He's going to find out in his pit board shortly, though. As once again, Suzuki trying to get by Sasaki ahead of McPhee. What is happening to the Scot this race? Both his teammates are blasted by now. They're sort of trying to get on the power again. The bike just understeers on the throttle. Does not like it at all. Again, I thought that was just a characteristic of the Moto3 bike. Obviously not. It's big dive from Stone. Gone a bit wide. And that's allowed 10 riders to come through like a swarm. Okay, maybe not 10 riders. There's Stone trying to get back up into 7th ahead of Arenas. What are you doing up here, Albert? Has he got a go? Fernandez all onto the curb. Don't do that, Stone. Sasaki battling with his fellow Japanese rider. The Stone braking heavily for the right. Getting on the power. And accelerating away. That's I though. Alright, calm it. Who's that, Arenas? Has he got McPhee and Bind and Fenati in the points? 39.4, 40.8, just 1.5 seconds off the pace. Oh, it's Suzuki, of course it is. The Stone tries to brake hard. Once again, it's just all rear brake, the braking. Who cares about actually using the brakes properly? Just get that rear brake on. Suzuki finally broken through the Stone shield, has he? The Stone dives. Oh, he gets into the Japanese rider. As Arenas up to 9th ahead of Vietti. Stone trying to accelerate past Arbolino. Arbolino? Wasn't he batting for a point? What's going on here? Has got Onshu 2 seconds up the road. God, this feels like the early part of the season, does it? The mid part of the season, actually. He's clinging on to a top 10 here. Has he got Binder and Arenas battling hard? Oh no! Once again, before this, I've restarted like 5 times, so I can't do it again. Look at how much riders he had up like 20 riders, Stone. Eventually, his luck was going to run out. But yeah, is anybody else feeling this with MotoGP 19? Let me know, because I'm feeling it and I'm not even sure it's real or not. But all the things I'm feeling with the Moto3 bike, I'm feeling it on this bike, which shouldn't really be the case. Because the Moto3 bike, much heavier, rides much more differently, just the rate transfer not being as shifty. Grand Prix bike, that's the only difference. Everything else, the braking characteristics, getting on the power, all the shambles. Now I'm feeling. We've got Foggy ahead of Boo Famous. Stone got to get the head down. As I said, the braking seems totally ruined. Like, it's all rear brake now. Like, rear brake is so much more effective than just using a normal brake now for me. It is really strange. As get out of here, Masaki. No points for you today. As oh my god, the curves. Hey, Canet. Stone's got to let go of the brakes there, sorry Arnold. So he gets on the power. It's actually Lechenko who's battling with the Kazakhstan rider. Used to be McPhee's teammate. And Stone gets past his 6 degrees of John McPhee buddy. 39 to 40.6. 1.5 seconds off the pace. Petronas Spirito just gone backwards. It feels like. There's got Canet trying to bustle through. Succeeding. On his KTM. Stone got the exit maybe. As he got Stone v Canet again over 28, just like we predicted. We've got Rodrigo and Binder. Look at Canet, just goes around. He's going around the outside of everyone. What is he doing? He's there too, but it looks like Stone's trying to follow him through. This seems to be a tactic. Well, he's going to have no rear tyre left, isn't he, at the end of this race? It's corner ahead of Rodrigo. Oh, Canet held up. There it goes, Stone making it 3 wide. Down the inside, not on the grass. Oh my god, he's getting even worse. Has to let go of the brakes. Sorry. Sorry, Sadak. Oh, he's going down again. It's 2 falls and you're out of here. No 3 strikes. The Stone is out the final corner. Look at Canet just fly by people in the straight line. He's up like 2 places on the straight. 40.4 passing people. If he can somehow catch back up to Canet, make some moves, you never know, points might still be on the table for Stone. As he's behind, is this Garcia. Canet into 20 ahead of Lopez it is. Canet past his teammate, the Striglitz is still out of the points. What is going on? One of Canet's former teams as well. So good in Moto2. 1 in MotoGP as well. Well, sponsoring Mark VDS. Same as in Moto2. As there he goes, he's found an outside line on the Japanese rider up into 23rd. Around the outside, Canet up to 17th. There you could see him in front, ahead of Rossi. There's on the curb again. Get out of here, Lopez. We saw Stone off the brakes again, having to ride into the back of someone, I think that was. As Canet past Zaki for 16th. Stone past the Japanese rider again, going for 21st. We're here, Boo Famous. It's not guitar anymore, that has. We're going to the second automotive. Mazda leading Del Porte, Antonio Ramirez can on-shoot in 6th. Here's a rider reborn since the last couple of matches. He's get hard on the power, which I don't really understand why as well, because have you seen him in real life? He's struggling to score points. Like, that isn't the rider and team that blitzed Valencia at the end of last season. The sign's on the edge of the top 20 somehow. Despite issues riding this thing. He's getting his head down. He's trying to get points. Trying to at least get that top 20 finish. He didn't get it in qualifying. Because he's got Foggy in front. But a bit like an oval, you get that slipstream action sometimes where you're just stuck in the pack. Everyone's just glued to each other. Hello, Foggia. That magical top 20 is now And something you see like at Monza or the Red Bull Ring as well. Stone here, the Italian. Canet going for a top 10. Absolutely ridiculous from the spot. Where are you going, Stone? Keep going. I have no idea what happened to the bike there. We turned into the corner. It's just like, no, can't be arsed with that shit. Back to the last for Stone. Now he's got a damaged bike as well, as someone just didn't decide to brake. I guess it's Misaki, the way he's falling back. Oh, that's going to be a great comeback. Literally, that was all rear breakers all braking. Oh, it's got Fernandez ahead of Rossi in 18th. Let's do it all over again then. Last 5 laps. That's all Stone. No, that's the problem with the braking. Used everything. That's including front brake. Couldn't get the bike stopped. Just use rear brake for the next corner. Gets the bike stopped easily. I'm not saying anything. As Minardi McPhee battle over a top 10. That's all Stone in the battle here. With Perez and Yurchenko and Misaki, is it? There's Sanak 2 seconds up the road. Misaki, you meant to change gear, man. What the hell was that out of the corner? It's like, I don't care about this accelerating business. No wonder he hasn't scored a point, as Canet does a 38.9. He's absolutely ridiculous. Stone does a 41.6. Canet's getting a top 10. Said him at feet, he already is in the top 10. As Misaki and Yurchenko battle over team rights. As we've got 4 laps remaining. But if anything, it's been entertaining this race, I would say, compared to the last couple. That's Canet. He's going to get a top 5, Canet. Like, seriously. Did that lad have porridge for breakfast? What the hell is going on? Up to 8th ahead of Vietti. Now, unfortunately for Stone, he's out of slipstream range, being 2 seconds back. Suzuki ahead of Onshu. Oh, not the end of the great run for the Turkish rider, especially with Canet coming. There's Binder battling with Rodrigo. As Mazio across the line ahead of Della Porta, Antonelli Mino Ramirez. Then a bit of a gap to Suzuki and Onshu. Then Canet heading Vietti. Okay, he could still get top 6. Canet with his pace has 40.7. Pretend there's no slipstream, that's probably his best lap of the race so far from Stone. He rides round in 27th. Gets on the power hard. Yurchenko ahead of Masaki. 2.3, but he's got almost a second on Yurchenko, so Stone's in no man's land, unfortunately, these last few laps. Needs to suddenly find a second from somewhere. There's Antonelli battling with Della Porta. Oh, he fancies a victory, does he? So does Mino. Somehow he hasn't won a race so far this season, Mino. I think he's got a top 5 now in the Challenger. I think Stone's giving up on that dream. Once again, the curbing stone. 10 laps. How have you not learned that by now? He tries to slide the bike into. That actually seems to be the motion as well. You need to slide the bike a bit more. Like even these Moto3 machines. You get them stopped in the braking zones, which I can understand for more powerful machines, but have you seen Moto3 machines? You can't do this sliding business as much. Good consistency, 41.3, throwing up 40.7. Mark Marquez eat your heart out. There's Masaki and Yurchenko still taking 7 bells out of each other. And we're 11 laps into the race, and we're finding the bike is exactly the same to ride as it was on the first lap as well. So, again, those effects seem to have been dulled slightly as well. Like, I'm not sure if wear's just less of a thing. In general, MotoGP 90 definitely feels like it. But again, we haven't ridden the big boy bike, so I guess we'll find out when we're up there, boys. He's 2 cents ahead of Yurchenko. Like, their battling behind just cost him chunks of time. No wonder they're near the back, they're too busy fighting each other rather than, you know, anyone else. It's all fine. So he tries to slide it in into that tight right. This is a great out of context commentary as well, so if you want to just chop up bits, be my guest. To go on to the final lap here in Phillip Island. What a disappointment. This used to be, again, a bit like Mugello on the easy list. Now it's up there with the hard lists. Stone using all of the curbing. Is I've heard you say don't use the curbing, so I'm using all of it now. Such a good listener. As 2.5 cents. He's got the same pace as everyone in front. It's frustrating. Let's put Fee into the top 10. He's got Tuba ahead of Fernandez. Tuba's had a very up and down race, hasn't he? It's Onchu and Suzuka still battering each other. .2 the gap either side. Sony's evenly between the rock and the hard place. It's Bertinetti battling with Arbolino. So we're Stone 2 seconds back now. Of course, now he miraculously finds pace on the final lap. As Mazio wins. Number 5 has his day again. Has been ahead of Cornfield at the line now. Is that right? Sure, it's not right. Why are you fist pumping? As Mazio won by 3 seconds. How is he able to put away like that? Especially with similar lap times. And then we've got Antone, Mino, De La Portia, and Ramirez ran out the top 5. Good to see both of their parts in the top 5 as well. Ahead of Suzuki. It was a level with Onchu across the line, but maybe had a fingertip ahead across that line ahead of the Turkish rider. But still a fantastic result for the KTM ahead of Canet. What a comeback ride. Less than a second behind Suzuki and Onchu, considering where he was after the second lap. Very impressive. And you've got Vietti, Arbolino winning the top 10 battle ahead of McPhee. Fenati with points. Binder, Kornfeld and Rodrigo around at the top 15. Just ahead of Sasaki by 9/10. Then we've got Foggia, Arenas, Rossi, Fernandez. Ran out the top 20. Stone in 27th after a very up and down ride. But fastest lap in the race, just a second slower than Mazia, and that pace was around top 10 pace, it looks like. So not too bad maybe in the race. Maybe over exaggerating things after qualifying, but as I say, it does feel like it's a bit all over the place, as the Porter definitely wasn't. 32 points ahead of Antonelli now, who jumps ahead of Canet. What a costly fall it could be for the Spaniards, as Mazia 59 points back. He's definitely officially out of it now. As Mino 26 points ahead of Suzuki, who's ahead of Stone. He's being caught by Ramirez at a pace, at a canter. And then we've got Rodrigo and Tuba out of the top 10, Onchu into the top 15 ahead of Foggia, Booth Amos and Cornfield. Fanati up into the top 20 as well. And then in the Teams Championship, just 5 points separate Leopard and Sync 58. And then Capital by just 6 points back. It is still anybody's championship. And then we've got Max Racing in only 4th, 60 points ahead of Trona Spirita, over 100 points ahead of Green Power, with VR46 up to 7th ahead of Honda Team Asia. With Cassini and Snikers not too far back. Then we've got KTM up to 11th, 2 points, or 2 places, shall we say. Now ahead of Australia Galitz as they swap their positions. God, that bike is absolutely caked. It's got loads of scraping and markings all over it. It has. Well, forget about Phillip Island. As there's something about Rossi, he takes his Yamaha to a superb victory ahead of Dovi and Marquez, who had the wrong strategy. Focused too much on Rossi, underestimated Dovi, as he's done plenty of time in the last few years. And you've got Baldassari winning in Moto 2. As Mazia said, I want to thank everyone in my team for today's video. They did an excellent job. You have to get to work on preparing for the next, so you can bet Stone and others will be looking to turn the tables. Or just, you know, flip over the bike, whatever, for Stone at the moment. Let's look at this abysmal run. It's consistent. I give him that. 2 27 place finishes and 2 DNFs after that. Great podium in Mazzano and that victory in Britain. It's a bit where it's gone back to the beginning of the season, isn't it? Except it's worse. Because at least the beginning, as you can see, he's getting some points. Now he's not. We'll find out if he can end the barren run in Malaysia and the Simpang International Circuit next time. Sound fortune, and I'll see you then.